Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sports Street. I'm Tom Carter. I'm about to send you over to the Coach's Corner with my colleague, Austin Swerple.
Hello and welcome to Coach's Corner. I'm joined here by my special guest, Coach Pop of Crestwood Baseball. How about you give us a recap of last season?
A recap of last year? Well, last year we had an awfully young team because a couple years ago we won a district title and graduated 8 kids that contributed significantly. So last year was a work in progress, especially to start. We steadily improved throughout the year. Was kind of finding our way with a lot of new kids. By the end of the year, we lost our districts to Dearborn High 4-2, and that game kind of typified our year. Throughout the whole game, I thought we were in control. We lost 4-2. We scored 2 runs, and we gave up 4 runs in 1 inning. And like I said, throughout the year, we seemed to have that 1 or 2 innings where we couldn't just close the floodgates, and that kind of explained our year. I believe going into this year, all that experience all those new kids had last year will really be beneficial to us, and we're expecting a lot more out of our team this year.
All right. So jumping from last season to this season, you guys, how many returning players you guys got?
I have, it looks like we're going to have 12 guys returning from last year. I got 9 seniors coming back, and there'll be 3 juniors this year that are coming back, and plus a couple more kids that we expect to contribute from the junior varsity. The one significant player that is coming back this year is one of our outfielders, Mo Mackey, who contributed significantly as a sophomore 2 years ago, but last year missed the whole season after hurting his ankle early in spring practice.
All right, so what are your expectations for this season, then?
Well, like every year, our number one expectation is to win the league title, and we always want to do that, and then to move on to districts and win our district title, too.
So your guys' first game is?
Our first game is after the Easter break, which is Tuesday. I believe it's April 5th. We play at Lincoln Park. And then April 6th, we play a doubleheader at Divine Child.
So Tuesday, April 5th. Don't miss it. You're going to be at Lincoln Park watching the Crestwood baseball team. Thank you for joining me.
Awesome.
I
Thank you.
appreciate it. And sending it back to you, Tom.
That was pretty good, Austin. Thank you. Let's get over here and talk about this NFL free agency where we had a lot of players shuffled around. First off, we have Jason Pierre-Paul that was brought over from the New York Giants to the Arizona Cardinals. Man, what you think about that? He gonna make a big impact?
Well, I think if we get the old Jason Pierre-Paul, he can make a huge impact on that defense. But last year, in 8 games, he had 21 tackles and 1 sack, so he wasn't looking like himself. So I'm not sure which Pierre-Paul they're going to get, but it all depends on if he's the old one or the new one.
You know, I mean, he did get injured and had that firework incident where he lost 2 fingers, and, you know, that could play a big part. You know, you could say you rehab and you did all you could to get back to 100%, but some guys never get back to 100%. Some guys get to 80%, and some people don't understand 80% is not as good as 100%.
I think Jason Pierre-Paul's name alone is just going to be able to draw more attention from offensive line, so it opens up everyone else on that defensive line to get in and attack the other quarterback. I think whether you get the old Jason Pierre-Paul or the new Jason Pierre-Paul, still a good signing by the Cardinals.
We got Marvin Jones that also left the Cincinnati Bengals. He's over in Detroit right now. How much of an impact do you think he'll be over in there?
He's going to make a huge impact. I like him. Just the only question with me is, I mean, Marvin Jones is a good 2 receiver. Right. I've always seen Golden Tate as a 2 receiver, so I don't think the Lions have a solid number 1 guy, and I still think they really need that 3rd receiver to bring in. And, you know, right now Roddy White is still on the free agency market. I think if we could bring in a Roddy White and have 3 solid 2 receivers and then have a good receiving core, right now I don't see Marvin Jones and Golden Tate carrying the load for the Lions.
So do you think he'd be able to fill Calvin Johnson's shoes, like as impacted?
I don't think anyone's going to fill Calvin Johnson's shoes. I think that we're looking at this the wrong way. You don't need another number 1 wide receiver who's going to get double covered all the time. I think Marvin Jones is going to help Golden Tate spread the field, and I think that'll be better off for us than having 1 really important wide receiver.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about the Marvin Jones move, but with the new management the Lions have in place, I trust them, and I'm going to trust that they know what they're doing because they did well at their previous location with the Patriots. So I'm thinking that this guy's going to be pretty good for us.
That's pretty good. Mohamed Sanu, he left Cincinnati also. The Falcons picked him up. That's going to be a good pickup, I believe.
I'm not sold on Sanu. Now, watching him, he looks like a good receiver, but his stats say he's in decline. He had 33 receptions for 394 yards and 0 touchdowns. Those are the lowest totals since his rookie season. And I know stats don't always tell the story, but I guess we'll see. I think they needed to keep Roddy White myself.
That might have something to do with that roller coaster Cincinnati been on, though, with the fluctuation of his stats.
You know, I think Mohamed Sanu was a good signing. You know, I'll say it once and I'll say it again. I think Mohamed Sanu is a better version of Roddy White, at least right now with Roddy White declining and Mohamed Sanu being so young. I think that he'll end up stepping up and he'll be better than Roddy White in Atlanta. And with Julio Jones taking double coverage, Mohamed Sanu will be able to go man-to-man and get a lot of receptions.
I believe it to be an overrated pick. I think Julio Jones is still going to get all the throws, and I think he's just going to become the new Roddy White, because with the up-and-coming running back Devontae Freeman, they've been giving him a lot of carries for the workload. I think Sanu is going to be underused, and I think it's an overrated pick.
The Jacksonville Jaguars actually made them a couple pickups this season also with the free agency. What you think about their picks?
Well, I think Malik Johnson is a great pickup. You know, it's the classic case of when someone wins the Super Bowl, they lose all their players. But I think he's going to help the Jaguars and solidify that line. And they also have Deontay Fowler coming back from injury, so I think that line should be much better. And they also picked up Chris Ivory, who was a really good running back last year, and I think he can help the team, help them solidify that position because they don't have a really go-to running back. So that's what I think.
I think Chris Ivory gives them a thunder and lightning with T.J. Yeldon going to be able to take the majority of the snaps on 1 and 2. Chris Ivory could be a good third down back and then a good goal line back, you know, within 20 yards, red zone back. Chris Ivory can get those really tough yards, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, and just pound it home.
Hard pounder, right.
I agree with that. I think Ivory helps out their running game, and I think they're establishing their offense really well. One guy we didn't mention, they got Prince Amukamara from the Giants, and I believe that he's going to be the starting quarterback to establish a brand new secondary and a defense that's going to be up and coming. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars and the AFC South are on the upswing.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I got 5 questions for you. 5 amazing ones. I want to know, what do you think about Mark Sanchez and the Denver Broncos? Is he their backup plan, or you think he actually is their solution for losing Peyton Manning?
I think right now he's a backup plan. I think they signed Sanchez just to be able to say, okay, we have him. Because they lost Osweiler, now they say we have a quarterback that we can go to. Now, I think they're going to still be looking for a quarterback. I think they may look into Colin Kaepernick or someone, but right now they have a solid quarterback who may be able to manage a game for them and let the defense keep them strong.
Why do you think they went after Sanchez instead of trying to get another Peyton Manning caliber type quarterback?
I think they went after Sanchez because he's cheap and he's a proven backup. If you do try to bring somebody up, you can start him for a few snaps, but I think he was good for them to keep their salary going, along with being a guy who can manage a game, but I don't think he's the plan. I would hope, for John Elway's sake, that he is their backup to start.
Austin, okay. Who do you think should take RG3? Is his career done, or is he still going to get picked up?
I don't think his career is done. It's like I talked to you last week about. I think he's a backup plan for a lot of teams, but right now inching in closer.
Backup plan as in how, like, he'll be a backup quarterback, or you think he'll a backup starter?
He's a backup quarterback for any team in the NFL right now. Any team could sign him. He's a solid backup. Not too prone to injury as a backup as long as he's not on the field. But I think LA right now is going to be able to hopefully sign him and get a lot of buzz coming around LA.
Do you believe RG3 would take a role as a backup?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm looking at. That's the problem with RG3. He's proven in Washington that he's going to be disgruntled as a backup, and he's not going to help your team as a backup. I think the landing spot for RG3 would be San Francisco because they're shopping Colin Kaepernick as we speak. They have 3 teams that want him. They're just trying to find a deal. That's like almost done. They're going to get rid of Kaepernick, and I think once Kaepernick is gone, RG3 could be a very a big option for them because they would need a mobile quarterback. I think Chip Kelly never had his type of quarterback since he's been in the NFL.
The Houston Texans, you think they're a Super Bowl contender picking up Brock Osweiler and Lamar Miller?
I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender yet, but I do believe that with these pickups, they're the favorite to win the AFC South. I think Indy is in the decline, and I think Houston's taken the right advantages to move into that #1 spot for their division.
Yeah, they're a good team, but just somehow they couldn't find a way to win for some reason.
I'm not disagreeing on the AFC South, but I will say I think they're in the running for the Super Bowl. DeAndre Hopkins was coming off of a career year at wide receiver, and that was with Brian Hoyer at quarterback. And I know Brock Osweiler is not too proven, but I still think Brock Osweiler is going to be a way better pick than Brian Hoyer at quarterback. So DeAndre Hopkins' numbers are only going to get better. And with Lamar Miller there, now you're not going to have to worry about Arian Foster getting injured every single year and only playing 1 or 2 games. Lamar Miller will be a set back in that backfield.
Okay, I got a quick question for each one of you. What are some teams you think that we probably should watch out for this year?
Well, I think teams we should watch out for is I still think the Denver Broncos are very much a team you should watch out for because of that defense. I think the Carolina Panthers, they proved last year they had a good team, and I always feel like a team needs to get to the Super Bowl or get to a championship game in any sport before they can actually take the step to win. And the last team I'm thinking about is the team we just mentioned, was the Houston Texans. I'm curious to see how they're going to do it, Brock Osweiler.
Who are your watch-out teams to look out for?
My watch-out team, you know what? Honestly, I think the Kansas City Chiefs this year. They're right on the line of being that good. They have to beat Denver in that division. And I think now with Denver taking a step down, losing Peyton Manning, losing Malik Johnson on defense, their defense will still be good, but I don't know if it's going to be as good. Their offense is definitely going to take a big step down while losing Peyton Manning. And the Kansas City Chiefs will be able to take a step up in that division and hopefully be able to get a home playoff game.
And where's your watch out? Watch out!
I'm watching out for Houston. I believe that they've put the pieces together to be a formidable playoff team. I think Oakland is on the rise because Denver seems to be on the decline, not being able to replace Peyton Manning. And I'm going to throw one out there. I think if the Jets re-sign Ryan Fitzpatrick, I think they're almost a shoo-in if they can beat the Patriots at least once.
I could tell you my team to watch out for would be, and I will say, I am a New York Giants fan. Eli Manning and them, they should win the Super Bowl this year. Thank y'all for watching Sports Streets, y'all. We had a good show this week, and we'll see you next week. Thank you. Have a good one.